Mr. Speaker, sir, to finalize on that question of PO, look at the allegations of contempt against court orders. Does this parliament have, does this assembly have the powers to punish contempt of a court, or the court that a contempt was committed?
Danstan, I didn't allow you to be on the floor.
Oh.
I let Mutuma on the floor. I'm the speaker.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker, sir. Kindly allow me to finalize on that question in 2 minutes.
No, I need to answer Mutuma first and then you can continue. Mutuma, I cannot make a ruling on that issue. But the only way I can help you is that apart from the answer system, you can leave. After this, you can leave the document with the clerk. I think that is acceptable now.
Yes, that's
thank you. You can continue. Then, Danstan, now if you want to continue, you can continue. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I was raising still on the questions of law. Article 165 creates the judiciary to be independent of the Constitution. It gives it the power to punish by the law of contempt. It does not bestow that powers to the account assembly. If there is contempt of a governor cited at the High Court or in any judicial tribunal, that court is the only court competent to punish.
And Danstan, let me ask you a very simple question, please. Resume your seat. I remember you said that the governor is not the one being impeached. And you are here as a team of lawyers. Who are you representing? I also wish to understand that. Who are you representing? Because again, you have mentioned the governor. If your governor has no case in the assembly, there's no impeachment about then who are you representing and who has sent you? Please clarify on that so that it's very clear on who sent you and who is being impeached. Because if somebody is not being impeached, I don't see then how this person can send you. Danstan, you can continue.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. The letter from the office of the Speaker dated 17th of October 2023, reference number MCA/GC/1/Volio 1/19, addressed to Her Excellency the Governor, Meru County, Dear Honorable Kawira Mwangaza. It is signed by Honorable Ayub Bundi Solomon, the Speaker County Assembly of Meru, which invited the person known as Honorable Kawira Mwangaza to appear before this assembly. She instructed us pursuant to this letter. Therefore, we are lawfully here on behalf of the person called Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, and we are highlighting to this assembly that Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the summons for public participation, either erroneously or were not for her. The Speaker will make a ruling on that question. So we are representing Her Excellency the Governor. But we are not representing anybody called Frida Faith Mwangaza. That is the distinction that I want it to be very clear that my team is representing Honorable Kawira pursuant to the letter of invitation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope that...
Yes, thank you. Now you can continue.
Thank you.
But I will not make a ruling on that because it's not my right to do so. Then you can continue.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on the question of purging contempt, I have said the county assembly lacks jurisdiction to punish a contempt done in a court of law. The county assembly has powers to punish contempt by the speaker expelling a member of parliament, by the speaker providing sanctions under standing orders. That one is another legal question as we are raising for the honorable members of the county assembly. Another issue, legal, that we want to ascertain is the question of the role of the governor in appearing before this assembly. It is a legal question, a very legal question. Does the assembly have the power to summon the governor? It has done so. The answer I'm expecting it is. Is it provided for under any standing order? So that the mover could be telling us, under standing order 6, you can summon by name or by rank a governor. The rebuttal will come from you, and you show that position. So that when the governor by law appears here, constitutionally he appears under 2 roles. I know it is very emotive when a governor is summoned and she does not come, and an officer in our office writes that she cannot come because not even the president goes to the National Assembly. Let us look at the law on that question. And let us get a president of any county assembly that has succeeded to summon a governor to appear before it. Another legal question I'll raise is a question of utterances before presidential function. Whether the county assembly can punish of offenses committed in the front of a presidential function, where the head of state is present, whether we are clothed with that mandate to punish on behalf of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Whether the presidential security team and the presidential guard, who never acted even in a breach of peace was committed, the county assembly acts on behalf of the president, the commander-in-chief of the Republic of Kenya. Do we have that power? Do we have that? Are we becoming the complainant? Are we crying harder than the President of the Republic of Kenya? Those are very legal issues. Very, very legal issues that we need to put ourselves to order. Mr. Speaker, could we, now that the chair, the speaker said it might not give a ruling, talk for 2 minutes, only two seconds.
You know, Danstan, I cannot make a ruling. You will make your contribution. The members will make a contribution because these are not a matter that we are determining at the moment. But the only determining people are the only members when it comes to vote. But we cannot be able to make any ruling on the issue at the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We can respond to a few issues that were raised. The question about oversight. Nobody disputes the powers of the county assembly to oversight the executive, but within the confines of the powers bestowed for oversight. The questions raised about procurement. Are there technical officers employed by the government of Meru to deal with procurement? Is our governor a signatory to the tender process? Is our governor anywhere involved in the tender board? At the opening stage, at the evaluation stage, at the award stage? So that we are now saying, are we punishing for collective punishment or individual punishment? Issues about Makiri or Kolea rally. Mr. Speaker, sir, no evidence has been placed before you of funds procured or requested for the purpose of Makiri rally. And also the question, is a governor 100% per se executive? Does she also carry the cloth of a politician? At what stage do you say this is the executive governor and this is the political elected leader called a governor? It's a hard question. The employees that were arrested who attended, issues were raised by the mover that was an abuse of funds. They were charged individually. No charge sheet for the governor has been presented to you to show that she was culpable for any offense committed, if at all it was committed, at a place called Makiri. I'm sorry, the language of the video, I only have found 2 words or 3 words in Kiswahili that says, tutapambana kiroho. What offense does it occasion anybody? I know she's a bishop. I represent religious people. Is it a curse for them? That is the only name I had there, tutapambana kiroho. If it offended anybody, I don't know. We move further. Then she says, tutapambana kisheria. Honestly, when the governor is telling you, use the law, deal with her, she'll also use the law to defend herself. Mr. Speaker, sir, it does not occasion any prejudice to any member of parliament. Stones were thrown. You look at those videos. Thank God I'm a criminal lawyer. Those videos are 2. They are not 1. The setting is different. The framing of the videos, the cameras used are different. Any attempt to make them one transaction cannot stand. The rally is separate. The throwing of stones are in another scenario. Is the governor present where the stones are being thrown? Is there any evidence who those people throwing stones are? And they are under clear instructions to throw stones and spoil vehicles? The matter was reported to Maua police station. The mandate of the police under Article 244 and Article 245 is clear. It has not been donated to the county assembly. Constitutionally, the police are independent. They will do their own investigations, forward the file to the DPP. The DPP will approve and somebody will be charged. Mr. Speaker, sir, issues were raised about the responsibilities and the question of nepotism. Allegation that she has employed her relatives. There was at one time only one man and one woman called Meru. The genealogy and how the Meru, who are millions, came up, they started from one person. So all of you are relatives. There was only one Kisi, all of us are relatives. So today, when you are saying this is a relative, to what level of it? Section 17 that has been used defines a relative. To what level of consanguinity? To what level? I've told you, all of you are relatives. That's why you are called a Meru. So, when we talk about nepotism, let us not narrow it because of circumstances that must be created to enable framing the governor.
And
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Please, I would like you to clarify on this issue about the relatives.
Nepotism.
Because, why am I saying that? Now, when you tell the Omari community that they are related,
Yes.
I don't understand.
Let me.
There must at least a clear definition who is a relative.
A relative, from the anthropological and sociological definition, are people who have similar either blood relationship, marriage relationship, or any other filial type of relationship. Not money-wise, not business-wise, not commercial-wise. An ethnic community is bound by the blood relationship. It is bound by the ethnic language that brings them together. Is bound by the cultural practices of marriage, of death, of burial, of dowry that they practice together. The governor belongs into those social dynamics. Those social norms binds all these members of the county assembly as their Meru. If that Gwantai was of another ethnic community, then the question could be, Mr. Speaker, if governor brought people from Kisi and employed them, the question these members of parliament will be saying, we must get our own children from Meru County being employed. The county assembly, the county nomination gives the governor power, at least 1 or 2% to be from outside the county. But the majority, they are her relatives, called the Merus. So let us not contextualize and put matters when it is convenient. When the war against the community is there, all of us join together and say we are brothers and sisters. But when the war is against the governor, then the governor is separated. Mr. Speaker, sir, that is the basis of me saying that there is no nepotism involved in that matter. And to go further, The people mentioned are members of the National Police Service. They earn salary from the National Police Service. They are seconded. The county assembly wants the governor to get a bodyguard of their choice. A bodyguard is specific to a particular body. Loyalty, trust is number one. If governor trusts the sister, the message is she does not trust any of you. She trusts her sister who can carry food for her, who can do personal things for her. And that is why that sister was employed by the National Police Service Commission long time ago. Why is it not an issue when she was employed and went to Kiganjo? It is an issue now. That is the question we are saying, that let us not also look at these issues from that angle. Article 245 and 244 gives the National Police Service Commission the power to assess the risks involved. Members ask, they are told, we have assessed, we will give you 2 officers of your choice. It's procedure. Mr. Speaker, sir, count 2, I've dealt with the question about the bodyguard, and I've also raised the question was raised that these people went for a diplomatic mission. That is not true. The Chinese company is not a government invitation, it's a private company. As the mover responds, he'll need to clarify, was there any diplomatic engagement? Did those people meet the Chinese diplomats? Or they went to see a cancer, a business group that wanted to do a cancer? So there is no diplomacy involved, because any engagement under the Geneva Convention on diplomats, you cannot purport to be a diplomat from Meru, and the county governments have no role for the function of diplomacy. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have been told that in that group there was one doctor, the CEC for health, the technical person. The letter read by the Chinese sent to us does not say the academic or professional qualification of the people required. The governor was told the people to be brought. That list went to the Ministry of Devolution. The national government approved. It went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The national government approved. The names went to NIS and other investigative agencies. They were cleared. What wrong did the governor do if all arms of government cleared those people? Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 236 of the Constitution was referred to, and the question that I beg the governor wants to know, was there any public fund spent or lost? No document has been proved to show a coin of public fund was spent on that trip. Mr. Speaker, sir, the question has been raised about the first impeachment. A lot of arguments have been used about the first impeachment. It is against the doctrine of natural justice. Somebody always to be tried on a matter that has already been concluded. In civil law, it's a matter that is res judicata. It is already determined. In criminal law, he was acquitted by the Senate. Why now you want to impeach her based on the failure to impeach him the first time is a question that begs a lot of questions. Mr. Speaker, sir, that is the principle of double jeopardy. Because except governor survived the first time, and governor is going to survive the second time, and governor might survive the third time. We move on. Let us not be reminding governor that, you know, Tobacco senator warned you. Was it a resolution of the Senate? Was it binding? Was it a recommendation of Senate? At what position does one senator have the power to represent the position of Senate? Mr. Speaker, sir, the question has been brought about the demeaning of leaders. The demeaning of leaders, and especially the DG. Who is the DG? Is it the Director General or the Deputy Governor? Is DG a title specific to the Deputy Governor Meru? It's ambiguous. It can apply to any position in government called the Deputy Governor, Director General, all those issues. So let us not carry all these things and heap to the governor, because it is not specific by name who the messages were. Mr. Speaker, sir, issues were raised that junior officers were demeaning, bullying the deputy governor. No evidence was produced that they were acting under the instructions of the governor. Under the instructions of the governor. How do you link those junior officers? You are here. Your driver is outside there. She or he goes and purports to represent you. Not given those express instructions. Those who demeaned the DG should deal with them, not as the governor. Especially a question about on TV station, a chief of staff gave an address on the TV station. Nobody wants to say that that was the official government position of the county government of Meru. No minutes are brought here. Nobody is asking that chief officer who told you to say this, bring that evidence. We are now moving to mob lynching. And that is why I'm raising that question, that let everybody carry their role of what they did. Otherwise, governor is being judged out of association. The words that are heavy, I don't know whether to use them, that about the vacating, I wouldn't want to go to that line, because they were not spoken in English. Probably my good friends could be there. A casual look at the Black's Law Dictionary on the meaning of that word, it's quite a lot. It is the question of context of usage of words. The context of the word, how it is used, can irritate, can please, can have a different meaning. What is the context? It was not captured. So, that word will be given a political meaning because of the urge, as I said, to impeach the governor, which is not true. Issues were raised that the manner she has held her office brings disrepute into the public confidence. The public confidence is a question of 2020 2022 August, September. Who had or who has that public confidence? The voters in Meru unanimously accepted the manifesto of the border borders. The marshals was part of the manifesto that was sold to the voters in Meru. They elected the governor based on that manifesto. They did not elect the others who never talked about the border marshals. Her mandate is derived from that manifesto. And that is why her manifesto, as an independent candidate alone, she was elected. Where all the voters who elected the honorable members of wards voted for her. Now, the introduction is people of Meru made a mistake. And that is the mistake that is being corrected today. That is my honorable mover brought that question. How do you deal with the manifesto that you want if you impeach her? Which manifesto? What referendum is that manifesto of whoever wants to come in? Will it have legitimacy? It will not. The question about the deputy governor being excluded from meetings, being assigned a new office that does not meet the stature and other issues. Show me the job description of the deputy governor by statute. It's not there. He will or she will be assigned duties by the government. The framers of the Constitution were very clear not to create two centers of power, so that it is the governor, it is the president who assigns their principal deputy duties. The deputy governor is craving for duties. When you meet as the caucus for MCAs, the whole nation, make the law to provide substantive duties provided by. No executive order has been presented before this to show these tasks were assigned to the deputy governor. And now this executive order is being disobeyed. Assignment of duties is discretion. Assignment of duties